to be able to follow. Try and move it a little bit forward. Filming vehicles is they are a lot shorter than a normal game drive vehicle, so we are able to go into places that a lot of the game drive vehicles aren't able to. I can see them now, so I'm just going to position us so we can see them. And I say again. Oh. 25.2. Oh, he's on the move. How's that? Oh, that's a bit bigger. See him there. There we go. So the reason we're taking such an effort to stay with the adult male and we didn't stay with the young male is because it is likely that he is looking for the female. Look, so I've got visual from where I am. He's now in the bottom of the drainage. So we're constantly checking around us because he is looking for that female, so she could be quite close to us as well. Nice shot, Firm. Firm's doing a sterling job. It's not the easiest spot to actually film in, and Firm's just managing to find those gaps. You can see how much bigger in the neck he is than the young male. Now, the next question is, just see him there still. Unfortunately, maybe that was rotten. He's now on the side of the drainage. I'm just trying the other bank. He's right off to our right here. Yeah, he's next to us. Sorry, I thought you saw him.
Stroll's trying to find a place to hold on.
Let me just... There we go. Dex, I think it's going to be easier if you try to come from the other side. So it's quite a difficult angle for him because we're sitting at a strange angle where we're parked at the moment. But he's still listening very intently. He's definitely trying to find that female. So he's moved up and down this drainage a couple of times today already from the tracks we could see earlier. So guys, for you guys who are wondering what that clicking is, that's just my camera. Every now and then I might take a few shots. Can you see what he's seen behind us? Has he seen something behind us there that he's looking at?
Check, but I can't see anything.
Good afternoon, Helen from New York. Welcome on Drive with us this wonderful evening. Helen would like to know how... Oh, Helen, I'm just going to... Don't go back down, please. We've just managed to get out of there. So just to give you guys an idea, he's less than about a meter from me at the moment. He's very, very close to us. He's going to actually cross closer to Wiem there now. So he's about a meter from us. Legs coming. He's made his way back down to the bottom of the drainage, very close to where you last had him. Copy, no problem. He's lying down directly behind us, so we can't actually move at the moment. So back to your question, Helen, male leopards become sexually active between 2 and 4 years old, depending on the area. Even though they might become sexually active at about 2 years old, there's no chance they'll be able to sort of secure a territory and mating rights till they are a bit older, probably between 4 and 6 years old. It all just depends on the individual leopard. There's a lot of questions about why his neck is so much bigger and thicker than the other young male leopard we saw. It's because he's quite a bit older, so that he's a lot stronger in the neck and shoulders and the muscles. He needs to be to defend and fight for territory. That young male isn't at the stage where he's fighting for territory yet. He hasn't fully developed, so that's why he's not holding his own territory. He's still hiding around. Or not hiding, but he's still in his natal territory where he was born. So he will, as he gets older, thicken out and get that same sort of dewlap and thick neck as this leopard has. Good evening, Marianne. Marianne would like to know whether Mvula would vocalize to find a female. Yes, it is quite possible that he would. In this circumstance, he might not, because they have been mating for a few days already. So I'm not sure whether she's tired, because normally the female is the one who initiates. So this is quite an interesting to see that he's trying to follow her now. Maybe they got separated by elephants or something. It's difficult to say. Is he moving again?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, Liam.
Still behind us.
Okay. Hold on, Liam.
Up again. Hold on.
Up on the other side or this side?
Okay.
This side?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he's coming up.
Oh, he's coming right back next to us. I'm hoping he comes up and out on the side. It's a lot more open out of the drainage line. try to stay with him, but if he does go into that thicket in front of him, I think it's not going to be possible. But what we'll do is we'll try keep just on the edge of the thicket and watch him, so maybe we can keep a visual on him from a little bit of distance off to the right if he does move into that thicket. That's a bushbuck that have just spotted him right in front of him. We didn't see it, and neither did he. So that barking you heard there was a bushbuck alarm calling at him. Could work in our favor. He might not head directly into that thicket because he's just disturbed a bushbuck. Good afternoon, Ashley. On Twitter, Ashley would like to know, would Mvula eat if he has the opportunity, even though he's looking for the female? Most definitely. Most predators are opportunists, and if they get the opportunity to catch something, they will take it. And the nice thing about being a leopard is you can store it in a tree and feed on it later. Now, how am I going to get out of here? Watch thorns on the right. And on the left next. He's come out of the drainage line again. He just walked into a pushback. I've lost him briefly. I'm just trying to stand by. You got him?
Yeah, it's on our.
Sure. We left him over there. But I've just lost visual. I'm busy trying to relocate now. Last place we had him was here. Going into that very thick stuff. Turned around and changed. Copy, thanks, Bex. The last place is almost going in here. Where was the last place you think you saw him there?
Yeah, he wasn't as far.
Maybe he turned around again. Which way was he moving? This is the last place we left him, was here. Just gonna have a quick look. I can't see anything. If he has gone down into those very thick areas, there's zero chance we could have been able to follow him. But he is still in the area and he might pop out again later. So what we'll do is we'll head back towards where we left quarantine, having a snooze, the quarantine male leopard. See if we get any luck there. Stations I've lost Mvula in a Timbweti thicket in that drainage line that runs from Gallagher shortcut towards Gallagher camp. I'm only leaving the area. Are there any stations still with quarantine? I'm reading you 1 out of 5. General direction would be towards that small umbrella that goes past Gallagher camp, between Gallagher shortcut and Mvula. I remember the question, just not the name. Good evening. evening, Terry from London. Terry would like to know, do leopards have more than one kill in a tree at a time? Terry, they can. I have seen 3 baby impala in one tree killed by the same leopard. As we said earlier, they are opportunists. So they will take a chance when they can to want as much play as possible. And Mr. Quarantine has not moved very far at all. And I've relocated is lying up next to the Ndlela in that drainage line on Gallagher shortcut. So it's possible that Mvula might move up and down again, so we might bump into him again. The nice thing, we're very spoiled this afternoon, being able, if we lost Mvula in the thickets, we were able to come immediately back to quarantine. He is quite hungry, so there's a possibility he might move again shortly and do some stalking, which would be quite nice. For me, this is one of the best times to be in an area where there are young male leopards, when they are sort of at this age, because they're very active and they move around a lot, and you find them quite regularly, and they're always very good quality viewing of leopards. So we're quite lucky that we are based at Chuma now while they're at this age where they're very visible. Good afternoon, Robert from Illinois. Robert would like to know how I know it's safe to exit the vehicle and walk around when there's a leopard close by, after I just mentioned they are opportunistic hunters. Very good question. Robert, a leopard sees us as another dominant predator. We are the dominant diurnal predator. And in this part of Africa, we don't really fall within their natural food or their natural prey. They tend to prefer to avoid conflict with us. They have sort of evolutionary knowledge that's passed down that we are dangerous on foot. When we're in the vehicle, they don't recognize us as individuals. But when we're on foot, we have that bipedal figure, which is a dominant diurnal. We are the dominant diurnal predator. And that's why even when you walk into lion and leopard during the day, 99.99% of the time, they will actually move away from you. And if you do happen to surprise them or get too close, they might give you a warning charge. A lot of people call these things mock charges. I disagree. It's not really mock. It's not a pretend charge. It is very much a real charge, but it is a warning charge to tell you that you are too close. Copy, Andrew. That you're too close and that they want you to go away before we actually come into blows. They're just trying to intimidate us with a warning. They will try and intimidate you with a warning charge. Standing by. Go firm. Make your way. Good afternoon, Donna from Kentucky. Donna would like to know, do male leopards come back and take any part in the raising of the cubs? Their part in the raising of the cubs would be to defend the territory from other males that might kill the cubs. They don't actually have any physical parenting with the cubs, although they will tolerate the cubs sometimes around kills and things like that, but they don't actually do, male leopards don't do much parenting of their offspring. And as I said, it's very difficult to know exactly who the father is, because as females will move out of territory and mate with multiple males. Huh?
It's hot.
Next coming. Next, Liam needs a comfort break, so we might need to go for a text screen. We're going to leave the leopard and just drive out for 2 seconds. Andrew, we need to fuck our manzi quickly and then we'll come back. Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. We've just to move out of the sighting quickly for a comfort break. And we're going to head straight back now to Yeah, the general direction towards Gallagher Camp. Over in the drainage that runs all the way from Shortcut and then joins up with that Mvula drainage. Copy, good luck. You've got a shot there, yeah? Or Floyd. Little back. Okay guys, so we're back with quarantine now. As you can see, he hasn't moved. Good evening, Paul from Minnesota. Welcome on Drive with us this evening. Paul would like to know whether you can ID leopard cubs when they're young by the spots, or do the spots change as they get older? Paul, the spots will stay the same from when they're very young. So the most distinct spot pattern is above the last line of whiskers. Liam, can you zoom in a bit tighter on his about 4? Okay. Best way to do it is I'll do this. Okay. If you want to have a quick look here, so we can explain to Paul the best way to ID leopards, because it is quite difficult to use the general body patterns and stuff. So, and also if a leopard moves out of an area, say out of the northern Sabi sands to the southern Sabi sands, you can send through a photograph of the spot patterns, and the other guides on that part of the Sabi sands will be able to identify them. So if you have a closer look here on my camera, Danny, good. We zoom in there, you see the last line of whiskers. Those 3 spots above the last line of whiskers would be the identifying ones, and then you see on the other side. So those are the spots that are used generally to identify the leopards. So I mean, he is quite far from where we saw him yesterday afternoon. That's probably why he's resting now. He's moved quite a distance. He was on our southern boundary, or close to our southern boundary, and he's now up quite close to the northern boundary. The northern boundary is probably only, as the crow flies, about 900 meters from where we're sitting now. Our website, there's 2. You can go to www.wildearth.tv or www.wildsafarilive.com. That's us here. So WildEarth, and then it's broadcasted also on the National Geographic website. And that's www.safarilive. Wait, let me just ask the office. Next coming. Nix, what are the web addresses where you can watch the live game drives? It's WildEarth.tv and what's the second one? And then the second one's WildSafariLive.com. That's us now. Yeah, we run twice a day for 3 hours. If there is something very interesting happening, we will extend beyond that time. So for leopards hunting or lions hunting, we will extend. But normally just the 3 hours in the morning. From 6 to 9, we're actually going to change now for winter time. So it'll be from 6:30 to 9:30. And then in the afternoons, I think from 3 to 6 now at the end of this week with winter times coming.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Do you want to mention time change coming up? Next coming. Copy, and can you give me the times it'll be in North America as well, and the date on Thursday? So guys, I'm sure you heard me mention that we're about to change to winter times. So I'm not quite sure on all the time zones, but it'll be on the websites, but it'll be from Thursday the 9th. We'll be starting half an hour later in the mornings. So, and extending half an hour obviously. And then, sorry, I'm getting so confused. We'll be starting half an hour later in the mornings, and then we'll be starting a full hour earlier in the afternoons. So from Central African time, it'll be 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then I'm quite sure we will get the update on what the North American and European times will be tomorrow. So either Scott or myself will let you know tomorrow what those exact times are. Nope. Out of all the big cats, leopards are the most adaptable and have the widest range of habitats. They can occur from semi-deserts, deserts, all the way through to rainforests and mountainous regions. There was actually a frozen leopard found. Can't remember the exact height. Maybe you guys can look it up online for me and let me know. but I know there was a leopard carcass found frozen on Mount Kilimanjaro. So maybe if someone out there would like to just check how many feet or meters that was above sea level, where that leopard carcass was found on Kilimanjaro. And send those answers through to questions at WildEarth.tv, or just use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. Next, have we got any answers yet on that frozen leopard from Tanzania? Just maybe see if you can find some information on it as well, then. Getting quite chilly now, quite a strong wind, very overcast. You hear a bit of fiddling around. It's just Leo and myself putting our jackets on. So we're now the only vehicle here, so I'm just going to position ourselves. So I know there were a few questions about him being hungry earlier. It's quite good weather for Sky. So he's at more of an advantage than he would be normally. Very dark night, windy. The prey species is going to battle to see and also to hear and to smell with the gusting wind like we've got at the moment. We're in the right spot now as it gets a bit cooler and darker that he is likely to move quite shortly. Sorry, station, are you looking for me? Hey, Phil, make your way. Good evening, Lynn from Michigan. I'm just going to move the car out a little bit to make it a bit more space for that other vehicle. I'll get your question in a second, Lynn. We're adjusting our floodlight here.